Hey y'all, it's Courtney, and good morning. I'm here today to talk to you about debt payoff and losing weight and the connection between the two. I have heard this for years, and I just did a little Google search and found all kinds of information about the correlation of debt payoff and weight. Much of it I already knew, so I already had some notes I put together for this talk, and I'm going to try to keep this pretty brief. But what stimulated, what put me in a place where I wanted to talk about this was number one, my own weight loss this year. And number two, I watched a YouTube video with a young lady. The name of it's called, her name's Aubrey, but it's called Frugal Freaks. And she had lost about 40 pounds. And in that, she said she wasn't really trying to lose weight, but as a byproduct of her debt plan, she had lost 40 pounds. Dave Ramsey also talks quite a bit about the connection to people who lose large amounts of weight and pay off debt. So I want to talk to you about why that is. For one thing, when you start to become more frugal, you're paying off debt, you're trying to watch your money, whether it's saving for something, getting out of debt, or being frugal for other reasons like reducing clutter and things like that. Most people at that point or you want to simplify your life. Most people at that point realize that going out to eat is very expensive and time consuming. On average, a meal out is 400 calories more than a meal at home. It's also, there's a lot more temptation. Last night, I always use myself as an example. I work out of town every other weekend, and I'll work like 14 days on, I'll have 2 days off, and then I'll work another 14 days on. So right now I'm at my really busy season. I was really tired last night. And on the way home, I wanted to meet the friend of mine who works with me. She contracts with me. And we stopped and ate at this restaurant in Little Rock, and it's rather expensive. I had one glass of wine, some roast chicken, and vegetables, and my bill was $32. I mean, that's a lot of money. And to be quite truthful, it wasn't really that satisfying. Oh, we did split some veggies and hummus as well. So it wasn't terribly satisfying. It was good, but it wasn't any better than anything I had had at home. I could I afford it? Yes, I could afford it. But am I cooking more at home now? Absolutely. I save those eating out meals for special occasions or for when I know I'm traveling and I'm going to be really hungry and tired. And sometimes I'll combine a meeting with a meal. But even when I eat out, I'm conscientious to look at the menu and what's more affordable. And to be honest, if you're on a debt freedom plan, a lot of the things on the menu at a regular restaurant that are more affordable are cheaper. For instance, the T-bone steak is going to be more expensive than the roast chicken. The salad is going to be, um, cheaper per se than the pork chop dinner. So minimizing eating out, minimizing calories, and when you do eat out, being mindful of what you're putting into your body, also saving money. The other thing that we tend to do is we cut out processed foods. Um, we all know processed foods are not good for us. One of my sweet students said today that she had been told that if you can read the back of a box, you can cook. And she knew that that was sad. And I felt sad when she said that. But my daughter, when she came to live with us when she was 9, she was really upset with us because we ate really healthy and really lots of fresh food. And she really had a craving for Hamburger Helper. I mean, she craved it. And so I don't think I ever purchased it for her, but I want to say maybe one time I let her have it. I don't ever remember making it. Maybe it was one of those things I said, well, if you want to cook it, you can, but I'm not going to. And I don't think she ever did. And I don't, to this day, don't think she eats it anymore. But learning to let go of processed foods and eat more fruits and vegetables. And there are lots of easy ways to do this. The basics are learning how to make tacos or taco salad with fresh spinach. I do it without the chips for myself, but maybe you get some blue corn chips and some fresh spinach and tomatoes and onion, and you either use the ground beef crumbles. You could use turkey, ground turkey. You could use organic grass-fed beef, and you throw all the taco stuff on there. And that's a pretty healthy, fresh veggie way to get salad. Making easy soups, learning how to make spaghetti with whole grain noodles and using turkey, ground organic turkey instead of beef. It's really not that much more expensive, and a good healthy tomato sauce. Put aside of those frozen green beans, or do some fresh green beans in your steam bucket, and you have a good healthy meal. So letting go of processed foods, which are far more expensive, and per serving, you get more when you make fresh foods as well. Plus, it helps your health and you lose weight and your health improves. Time, when we quit shopping, it frees up time. When we quit shopping for fun, I've been on this resourcefulness 1 year plan of no buying clothes, books, or shoes. And I have definitely had more time to work out at home. And so when we let go of time, or we let go of our gym memberships, oddly, taking more walks, doing more yoga at home, using YouTube to work out at home, those things can actually help us lose weight as we meal prep and prepare. Also, when we start to do our budget, and we're working on our budget, and we're trying to cut out debt, it brings an awareness, and it brings an awareness to habits that we have. And a lot of times, the habits that we have with money definitely feed over into food. Taking expensive vacations, and letting your hair down, and drinking margaritas, and eating a lot. Not that that's not fun, and it's okay sometimes, but when we're doing things mindlessly and not mindfully, we tend to eventually have consequences from that. So, being more mindful of your budget makes you more aware of your eating habits and things like that. Learning to cook from scratch, learning to do a budget can help you with your meal planning and things like that. And it just brings a general awareness to what you're doing. And a lot of people are emotional eaters. So they will sit down, per se, in front of the TV with a bag of chips. Well, if you're trying to cut your expenses, first of all, you're probably not going to have those chips in your house. And secondly, if you do, maybe you might think to put a few chips in a bowl instead of eating the whole bag at once. Or maybe you plan to go only shopping once a week, so when they're gone, they're gone. So there is a great correlation between people getting out of debt and losing weight. And the last thing is your why. When it comes to getting out of debt, for me personally, there's a lot of things. I think a lot of people think frugal means that I have crappy stuff, and that's not it at all. We live in a beautiful cabin on 40 acres on a beautiful big farm. We paid for over a third of it out of cash money as we worked. We have no other debts. I buy nice quality things, but I only have what I need. I don't have excess, and I'm constantly selling any excess that I have. So that my why, though, is I want to be free to do the things I want. I want to have the security to know that if something happened to my husband or I, when we couldn't work, that we could live on one income. I want to be able to travel. I want to know that if I needed to retire early, I could. Or if I needed to cut back, I'm not going to starve to death, and I could be able to pay my bills. So having your why for your budget also can in turn lead to having your why for wanting to lose weight. Being sick is very expensive. Being healthy is less expensive. So thinking about all of those things, putting them together, getting on a budget to pay off your debts, or to be financially secure, or to retire early, or just live below your means, so that you don't have the same worries as 70 to 80% of Americans. So these things I'm talking about tend to be taboo, but they're common, and people just seem a little bit ashamed to talk about them. So I want to encourage you, Get on a plan, have a plan for your life. Unless you make bukus of money, everyone still needs to be mindful of what they're doing. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. It's been so nice.